Hi everybody, Tashi here from Pixie Mommy's Reborns. Welcome back. So grab your cup of coffee, tea, snack, meal, whatever. I have a pretty good chat for all you guys, and I have Oscar here because I definitely been missing him, and I'm gonna get his diaper changed, and then I'm actually gonna get him up in my arms because I haven't even held him and I don't know. Gosh, it's got to be like a week. so, um, I have a little sleeper to change him into. It's freezing cold rain here on Long Island, New York. It's very, very late Monday night or into, the AM on Tuesday. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I guess, disrespect within like comments in the reborn community, which is a bit of piggybacking off of a topic that Kelly Girl just did because of a comment a friend of ours, Angela, from Angelic Dolls and Bears on YouTube, had received about her Claire Taylor dolls. And she has like a really amazing, amazing collection of Claire Taylor dolls. So, to those of you new, Oscar is one of Claire Taylor's edition babies, and he is the Dwayne Awake number 2. So I have a couple passies, quick. I just wanted to show you all some new passies. A new rubber passy by Heva. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. This is going to be backwards to y'all because the camera is flipped. Um, a 2-pack by Bibs in the bohemian look. And those are super, super cute and like a mauve pink and in like a ocean blue. Oh my gosh, I love these. And then these ones, I'll take them out because you can't see through the packages, are also by Hevia. Oh, these are so precious. So like they're the all natural passies, and this one is in like a like a off-white color, and it has moons and stars on it. And this one is in a beautiful, I call this like a natural blush pink, and it has little I don't know if those are stars, quite flowers maybe. Really cute. This is going to be really cute for little Rue for photo props. So I got a little spoiled. These packages came in in today, 3 of them. From my beautiful lady Lexi over at Hey There Spooky Face, who I, of course, told her not to do that, but yeah, she's just like me. She doesn't listen. So definitely check out her channel though. She's got some really cool stuff, beautiful dolls. Her videography is just amazing, and yeah, she's just wonderful. So um all right. So I'll pick one of these passies to go on Oscar's clip and what I'm going to change him into. And I have a diaper behind me. I am going to put this little bird sleeper on him. I thought it wasn't going to fit because it's like a first baby, new baby size. But when I held it up to him, it is going to fit him. I don't think he's worn this before. And I think for the rain and everything, it'll just be perfect to have him in something cozy. So let me do his diaper and then I'll get him in my lap, and then we will get down to the meat and potatoes of of today's chat. So while I'm changing Oscar, don't forget to go smash that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Also, in the description below, I'll put a link for Kelly Girl. I'll put a link there for Lexi, Hey There Spooky Face. And there's also will be a link if you'd like to follow me on Instagram to see photos of Oscar and all the babies in my collection. And might as well get the whole schmeal out. In addition, if you would like to become an exclusive member of my channel, come behind the scenes, check out everything there. It's $1.99 a month. It's all inclusive. You can cancel at any time. You must be 18 years or older to join, but for literally less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, come on in, check it out. There's lots of fun perks, including my exclusive live streams. And that about does it for all of the, all that stuff that I know my regular viewers and channel members do wind up sitting through, and I apologize for that. But anyway, all right, let's see about getting Oscar in my lap. And I'm thinking, let's see, how do we want to do this? I'm just going to put this blanket over maybe and go like that. Yeah. So I know you all like to just kind of see the baby. And I get in videos often, but I also like to film, with the baby, close up on the baby so y'all can see. All right, here we go. So look at him. Now, as you can see, Oscar looks and moves, like he is a real living baby. It's pretty incredible. So, those of you that are not familiar with Claire Taylor's work and her sculpts, her Edition babies are, a high premium price because the detail in the sculpting, her premium blend of silicone is just absolutely like no other. She's just an incredible sculptor, an incredible artist. And she's really the kind of pioneering and the cutting edge always of how these dolls are made in the realism and, especially in the silicone and the feel of the living skin and the movement. And I'll tilt his head back. It's just, see his skin wrinkle. It's very incredible. She sculpts, many different faces and bodies. Now, there are some people that just don't care for her sculpts or her style of sculpting, her faces, her bodies, whatever. And that's just fine. Usually once you've seen a Claire Taylor doll in person, it's a whole different ball game. It's very hard to get them to come across like what you're seeing in person, in videos and photos. It's just not the same. But collectors do their best, and a lot of us collectors do share on social media, whether it be, just photos or whether it be on YouTube. So recently, Angela, oh, and I'll also put a link, I'll put a bunch of links in the description. I'll also put a link to, is it Angela's Dolls and Bears or Angelic Dolls and Bears? I'm not sure if I'm saying which one right, but the link will be below. So she received quite a nasty comment that, really just was just not only rude, but it was very nasty about, about Claire Taylor, about her sculpting and artistry, just all across the board, like all her dolls are just, and it's just, it's something that, we don't expect to see here out of other collectors. Getting comments from outside of, the doll community and doll collectors, is totally different. It's like comparing apples to oranges. But here within the doll community, for the most part, it's, we support one another, right? Because we're kind of like a niche hobby. While it's, definitely coming into, I think, more the mainstream, and maybe what one day will be more really mainstream, but it's really not, and, hasn't been for many years. So collectors, and it's more especially of the lifelike dolls, of the reborn in silicone dolls, um, that, collectors take some flack for, right? So we depend on and rely on this community of other doll collectors to enjoy, have fun with, and support one another, right? So whether you like someone's dolls, or you like a particular sculptor or not, if you don't like like all of one particular sculptor's work, well, for one, then like it's kind of like, just don't bother watching a channel then that is sharing all of that, a collection of all of that sculptor's work. There's no reason for, rude and nasty comments that's offensive to, the artist. It's offensive to the collector. Um, you know, it's just really uncalled for. The Dwayne, for instance, Dwayne Awake and Dwayne Asleep. There was a Awake and Asleep version of the Dwaynes. There's 5 in each version worldwide, plus the prototype. The prototype, I know in the Awake, Dwayne was Claire painted and rooted that baby to, match the real Dwayne. So Dwayne was a real baby, or is a real baby. Well, he's, obviously doesn't stay a baby forever, but when she sculpted him, he was, of a real baby. And she sculpted the, Dwayne from pictures of the real Dwayne, and she sculpted him in his entirety as, as the picture, as Dwayne. So, the he sculpted after a real baby, and she's like spot on with the sculpt. The level of realism, and if you look at the real Dwayne, it's just absolutely incredible. Now, I think quite a few of Claire's babies are portrait babies. And then also, and I have shared this with, artists that are talking about sculpting, and have talked about, I'm going to sculpt one day. And I've talked about if I ever sculpt one day. You know, I've, I've watched many of Claire's videos, and I've heard her say many times, and I'm not sure if it was the Keaton or even the Janica or one of the dolls or several of the dolls, um, are not complete portrait babies, but what she will do is, like, if she really loved the mouth on one baby, the nose of another, the hands on another, the feet, on another. She would take, pieces from different real babies, photos of real babies, and combine that into, the sculpt. Because, if you're sculpting a portrait baby, obviously you're just looking at the picture of that baby on a whole, and, sculpting it to, you know, replicate what you're seeing on the whole baby. But sometimes, if you're not sculpting like a baby that or a baby that you're just like, oh my god, I'm just in love with every feature that baby has. Sometimes it's fun and creative to, take parts, of photos from different babies and put them together in one. I think, again, it was Caden, and I know I had a Caden, and what an amazing, amazing baby. I have to go back and watch because I forget, what she said, like, was it a mouth and a nose from a, whatever. But, it's all a matter of, how the the realism is, when the baby is, finally put together. It's a true amazing talent, for sculptors. It takes a lot of years, it takes a lot of practice, of kind of in the art, in sculpting. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about that piece of it, in, creating a sculpt from either a portrait baby or from, parts of babies. All sculptors do. You have to have something to look at. You have to, when you're sculpting, I mean, most sculptors, I think it would be very, hard to, I think it would be very hard to sculpt, just like from in your head, without being able to, look at hands, look at an arm, look at feet, look at legs. But I mean, you can comment below if you do sculpt and you sculpt like completely, well, it is freehand, but, just from no images, just from an image in your head, put it that way. But either way, it's like the coolest thing. Now, just make that clear, I'm talking about real babies, and I've always talked about real babies when I've shared that about the sculpting. Though I have heard people say and make a point of that, when sculptors are practicing, when artists are practicing, you might, in an art class, replicate, an already existing sculpt. You, of course, wouldn't be selling that as your own. It's your practice. It's how, I mean, anybody that's been to art school or even taken art in high school, knows how that's done. Of course, again, you're not taking that and selling it. It's how you're learning. And then when you get to the point, or if you're start out that talented that you're, able to sculpt, or again, just the sculpt from photos of a baby, because I think because we're sculpting, babies, people, human beings, personally, I would want to sculpt from looking at a real baby, or different parts of a real baby. But that's how it's done. So, and part of my point in that was I wanted to discuss that on my channel, because, well, just because, and a lot of you may know why, but that's why. But the other reason is because a lot of these sculpts are either portrait babies or they're collectively pieces of all different real babies put together. So now, not only is it offensive to the artist's work, the artist's interpretation of that baby, and all of that, it's like offensive to the real babies that these, sculpts are after, that sculptors have gotten them to look identical to the real actual babies. So if you're calling the sculpt ugly, you're calling somebody's kid ugly. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. But either way, I just, this is supposed to be a warm, welcoming place, and it's the majority of us here is women, but there are some, others in the hobby. But newsflash, women are actually supporting one another now. I know, can you believe it? But, that's okay. Just get it together, Doll collectors, they actually support one another. That's why we come together in the hobby. That's the whole purpose of it. So if you feel, I think I'm gonna take out this ocean blue passy because it just happens to, I could do the natural. Oh, that looks nice too. Oh, I'm torn. Let's see. It's gonna go on his duck. Oh, yeah, here we go. His goose. So I like the natural on that. So if you feel for whatever reason that you cannot support, another collector that you're watching on YouTube, and that, you can't leave a supportive comment and you feel like the need to say something negative, try not watching that channel, so that it doesn't set you off to, lose yourself and your manners and leave nasty comments. Because not only is that collector seeing it, the sculptor or artist potentially is seeing it, and everyone else in the community is also seeing it, and it just doesn't look very nice, and it doesn't make anybody feel good. So yeah, just, that's my advice, is just to move on and to, follow channels and follow collectors of dolls that you do like. I mean, I really shouldn't have to be saying this in, a community of adult doll collectors. Or, I mean, there's young folks in here too, but, mostly adult doll collectors. It really should go without saying. But obviously it needs saying, because I've gotten the same comments from time to time. I've got nasty comments about Oscar, where I can understand even if someone's saying, oh, he's cute, but I just don't care for that sculptor's, sculpting, or I just don't care for this particular sculpt. Fine, I mean, even that's kind of unnecessary, but it's at least it's not nasty and rude, but I've definitely gotten very nasty comments, of all different, variations of how ugly Oscar is, and how they don't like Claire Taylor's dolls, or out of all of Claire Taylor's dolls, that's the ugliest sculpt she did, or whatever. Just all different variations of not nice comments. And it's uncalled for, folks. It's just uncalled for. And everyone else sees that, and it kind of almost, it's like it brings down the morale in the community. And so if you're maybe brand new to the hobby, or young, or coming in from maybe like a drama community or something, like I don't know where else on YouTube, but I guess the you know maybe younger generations, or certain types of like YouTube communities, maybe it's like that's the norm, or almost something that like people do because they want to argue. I don't really know, but if that's the case, if you just don't know any better, as Kelly said in her video, just to help you out with a little bit of internet etiquette, and certainly doll collecting etiquette. And it's just the whole purpose of this hobby is collecting dolls, right? So it's kind of and coming here to gather with those who also collect dolls and enjoy it. So we're here to support one another. There's a baby out there for everyone. What one collector thinks is adorable and loves, another collector may not. And part of the joy in it is seeing all the different sculpts, seeing all the different artists' work. And when you see another collector loving their dolls, it's it brings you joy. You know what I mean? Whether that doll is for you or not, and you think it's cute or ugly or whatever, it's really irrelevant. It's the point of enjoying that collector that clearly loves their doll. And I just can't see saying something unkind to anyone that really loves, that's sharing something, and they got a smile on their face, and they're what they're sharing they really love. And then you go and comment and say, oh, that's ugly, that artist's work is, you know what I mean? All right, anyway, I'm like repeating myself at this point, so I am going to leave it at that. But be a little kinder to one another. Think about the art aspect of it, and that sculptors and artists have feelings as well. And definitely check out Kelly's video. She talks a bit more in detail about Claire Taylor's Edition silicone and Edition sculpts, and so her video is a little different from mine in that respect. So definitely don't miss that. And of course, check out Angela, who's got a beautiful collection of Claire Taylor dolls, and my beautiful lady at Hey There Spooky Face, who sent a bunch of passies that I told her not to do. Yeah. Anyway, all right, everyone. Oscar sends his love to all his aunties, and we love all of our passies so much. And till next time, God bless.